Welcome, folks. I will be quick, subscribe and like, and let's go. What high school stereotype did you fit into? The wolf girl, embarrassingly, as long as you no longer howl at the moon. Kid that everyone knew but wasn't popular, that was me as well. I wasn't offensive, so no one wanted to kick me out when I'd hang out with them at like lunch, but I wasn't cool enough to hang with them outside of school either. I remember people like that, some really chill people to hang out with. I'd say I fit that bill. It was honestly super lonely getting along with everyone, never had issues or confrontations with anyone, wasn't a weirdo, wasn't a recluse, but still close with nobody. I was the kid that everyone, athletes, skater kids, stoners, daddy's money popular slash preppy kids, super smarties, even a few of the popular girls come junior slash senior year wouldn't bat an eye over eating lunch with, walking in the hall with, sitting next to in class to chat, partnering on a project, etc. But after school, they all had their own inner cliques and I wasn't a part of any of them. Like, I was the kid that everyone loved to have around as a part of a group, but nobody wanted to be in a more intimate setting with because I was never the glue friend who held the group together. The class clown, what turns annoying after a while. I always had a crush on you and I knew you were sad but never said anything because I was too self-conscious. On the rare occasions you stopped cracking jokes because you were feeling extra down, I tried to connect and acknowledge all the good things about you that weren't related to your humor, but you were not interested in me because I was one of the invisible kids. The quiet kid that nobody remembers. No, seriously, I remember a lot of my high school classmates even 14 to 18 years later, but I doubt any of them remember me. Half the students at my high school forgot who I was every summer. Oh, are you new here? Where did you move from? What are you talking about, Brian? I've known you for 3 years now. This is kind of me, I have an insane long-term memory. Graduated 2009 and I remember every single day of HS. Was a loner until I hit puberty hard and became a highly developed and sought-after athlete junior and senior year. Never hung with anyone after school except my buddy Keith till senior year when girls came after me and everything else started with offers for football in college, etc. Was a nobody till senior year, albeit a 6 feet 5 inches giant. I was still a recluse and full of anxiety. I was so quiet I was marked absent from a study hall class for nearly a whole semester. That I actually attended and never missed, got pulled into Dean's office for it and it got rectified there. I grew up in a household where I basically had to live as a be seen not heard, but got too good at it and basically became never seen or heard. Milford School, least seen on campus winner. Same, I'm forever documented as quietest in both my middle and high school yearbooks. I was the quiet kid until I got adopted by an extrovert, then I gained confidence and start talking more. I was sort of a class clown character in high school, but turned into the quiet kid in senior year. I had a hard time in senior year because of my personal life and I honestly didn't really care for the people in the school. I could count on one hand and still have too many fingers to count how many people I considered friends that year. Loser, I don't miss high school. And, no, it didn't build character or make me the man I am today, it made me a hateful prick and it took years to grow out of that. Same. The only saving grace is I was in class senior year with a kid who was going to the same college as me. He told me his plan was to reset who he was and get a new group of friends freshman year. Be completely outgoing, be inclusive of everyone and out of character. I said I want in. He said great, let's be roommates. Freshman orientation, we did just what he set out to do. We had a lot of other uncertain freshmen hanging out until the sun came up, just chatting. I remember my parents in shock, picking me up surrounded by new friends, all chatting it up, having a blast. College was the best years of my school life. I knew at least 2 people in each class, it was great. I spent most of my high school barely even speaking to anyone. I didn't just sit alone at lunch, I literally had an entire table to myself where I sat alone. It wasn't until near the end of high school that I started to make close friends, and then almost immediately a bully came along and started spreading high school drama rumors and threw all of my relationships into peril. It took a lot of work, a lot of pain, a lot of patience to keep those friends. It didn't make me into a hateful person, but I certainly wasn't the same person afterwards. I was wild and bright and eager to experience the world, and I get my Facebook memories notifications now of what I was like at that age, and I'm just amazed at my wittiness and humor and the overall ideas that once came out of that kid's head, so confident and outgoing so shortly after only finally making his first lifelong friends. I couldn't come up with that stuff if I tried now. Something in me back then just broke, and while I am friends with everybody back then, including the bully, and I know they love me dearly and I am proud of the hardworking and caring and compassionate person that I've grown into, it always just hurts a little knowing that I never got to be that person again. I was the nerd. I liked anime and military history along with building plastic models. I also had a girlfriend that was a Japanese exchange student. I had driver's ed in high school. The teacher pulled me aside one day to do some paperwork, asked me what my hobbies were. I said modeling. The look of outrage on his face told me he thought I, a fat pimply 15-year-old, meant fashion modeling. He cooled down real quick when I told him I meant building plastic models. Here's another upvote. High school is useless torture. Torture, absolutely. Useless? I wouldn't say so, actually useless where I was. Took a high school proficiency exam to graduate early. That one test supposedly had everything on it the government expects you to learn from high school. It was so easy, anyone I knew could have probably done it after their freshman year. After that I did community college for 2 years and transferred to a good university. If I finished high school I'd probably be worse off than I am now. The smart troublemaker, instigated a lot of things, but got all A's in class. Maybe I was bored. Wow. Thank you for putting into words what niche I occupied. I was in all honors and AP level courses but would sneak out of school and come back on all kinds of substances, went to all of the parties and also had to show up for the early morning job on weekends in clubs or preschool tutoring. My teachers would let me slam through exams and get a hall pass to the photography darkroom. A happy-go-lucky kid that could hang out with the popular kids, the sporty kids, the stoners and the nerds. Basically a social butterfly. I was like that in elementary/middle school but evolved backwards into the quiet kid. My first 2 years in high school I was the popular skater kid, but after that all the fun people and my sister graduated and left or just left and I turned into the quiet kid. I was the same, I mixed with all groups. Only downside on my part was that after high school, I realized I actually didn't have any close friends. I was able to hang out with everyone but when it came to talking about my feelings, I didn't really have anyone to rely on. Weird. This was exactly me. I feel for you. Quiet loner autistic nerd. I feel called out. Could be worse. I was the autistic chameleon. I could match just about any personality and energy level, so could hang out with any group but not quite fit in. There was always the little part that felt off because it wasn't genuine. The loser group took me in because I could act like an emissary between groups to smooth out any conflicts. Whoa, a lot of stories in one video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed and write in comments which one stereotype are you in high school. Until the next video, goodbye.